Alright, so I noticed that even though I showed this knife in a first impression video quite a while ago, I actually haven't done the full review yet. So let's remedy that right now and take a closer look. So this is the Benchmade Azeria. Usually goes for around 80 US dollars or 100 Canadian. And it's an interesting design with the forward angle. It's intended for tactical / self-defense use. And the blade is made of N680 stainless steel. So that's a mid-range steel. It's got very high corrosion resistance due to the added nitrogen. The carbon content is 0.54%. And it's also got chromium, molybdenum, and vanadium added. So it's easy to sharpen. It's got moderate edge retention, and the hardness is 57 to 59 HRC. So pretty decent, not an outstanding steel, but pretty good overall. And its main strength is corrosion resistance. So if you happen to be by the sea and the salt water tends to corrode blades, or you tend to get it wet and dirty often, that would definitely be a good steel for that. It's got Grivory handle scales, which I personally like the feel of. Feels better to me than Zytel and a lot of fiberglass reinforced nylon. One thing I'm personally not a fan of, but I see why they did it, is that the tang is actually sticking out past the handle scales. So that's for more traction, and they did it the right way because the tang is actually rounded and fairly smooth, so it's not going to be abrasive. That's personally not really my favorite way of handling that. It doesn't, I don't know. I mean, you can see that it's intentional. It doesn't look sloppy. It's not like poor fit. But yeah, personal preference for sure. But otherwise, I very much like how the handle is shaped. Definitely very ergonomic. Got a bit of a finger choil there, and fits the hand really nicely. Got pretty aggressive jimping up there for the thumb to rest on. And this is really secure in the hand, which of course is very important for a self-defense knife. Also, the way it's designed, this would be difficult to disarm, because quite often knife disarms rely on getting a hold of a bit of handle sticking out and using that to lever it out of the hand, things like that. So this would be pretty difficult. You'd have to literally pry open the user's fingers, because otherwise you can't really get a good hold on it. Trying to grab the blade would be dangerous. So definitely intelligent design here. Why did I just say that? Why did I say intelligent design? You know what I mean. Anyway, so here is the Kydex sheath. It's got a belt clip, and this really is a belt clip only. It's not a pocket clip. You'll see in a moment why. And this has got an interesting feature. There's a pin here that locks into the jimping and prevents it from being drawn forward. So normally you would have it on the belt with the handle facing back, and you would draw it like this. If somebody tried to attack you and grab your own knife and use it against you, and they would try to pull it from the front, you can't, because it locks in there. And this does work quite well. And this is where you're supposed to wear it on a belt as opposed to clip it to the pocket. You could clip it either to your pants or the pocket, and it is a fairly stiff clip here, but it's not going to work. If somebody tries to draw it from the front like this, they will just pull the entire thing off. So you definitely need a belt that this actually hooks into. You can see right there at the base of the clip there's a hook. So that holds onto the belt and makes sure it doesn't come off, but you still have the convenience of this being open, so you don't have to take the belt off to put it on or take it off. The sharpness I can't show you because I've been using it every now and then over a couple of months, and it does need to be resharpened now. doesn't really want to cut the paper anymore. But when it came out of the box, if I remember correctly, it was shaving sharp. At the very least, it was adequately sharp. I remember that I didn't have any complaints about the edge. So even though it's designed for self-defense, you can use it quite well as an EDC knife. You know, Wharncliffe edge is pretty useful in general. So you can whittle with this. You can definitely use the point. This is strong enough. So you can pry with it to an extent if you have to, or, you know, drill holes and whatnot. And I found it's excellent for opening boxes because you can get in with the point very easily. And I've been doing a lot of work with the point in general, and it works quite nicely. Oh no, packing peanuts, the horror. Why would you do this to me? However, the blade is quite short, so I would consider this mainly a deterrent. Like if you had to defend yourself against an attacker, you may be able to cut them a couple of times and threaten them with a point, and hopefully that's that. If you ended up in a life or death situation, it's a bit short of a blade, but you know, that would be extreme case, obviously. I definitely like how secure of a grip you get on it and how difficult it would be to disarm you. You know, just similar to a karambit, except that you don't have that ring. And this is really for a forward-facing grip. If you tried a reverse grip with this, it doesn't lock into the hand quite as well. Plus, you can't really draw it in a reverse grip. It's definitely designed to be drawn with this kind of grip. I mean, you could switch it, but you don't really want to mess with that in a dangerous situation. So overall, I like the design, and I found myself using it pretty frequently for everyday tasks, even though it's arguably not ideal for that. There are definitely more versatile designs for EDC purposes, but there's something about it that makes me reach for it fairly often. I think it's just how comfortable the handle is and secure. So that's definitely a major plus about it. Now the edge retention, yeah, definitely I can't say I'm impressed by. The edge does wear relatively fast, which again for self-defense wouldn't be a problem, but if you end up using it frequently, then yeah, you definitely have to be prepared to sharpen it regularly. And finally, the price, you know, $80 seems a bit much to me for a knife of this size, considering the steel, since it's just mid-range. So I would honestly consider it overpriced. You know, even though I like it and I think it's a good design, that's a bit much for what it is. I mean, Benchmade generally is pretty high priced. So yeah, I'll take that for what it's worth. If you're interested in getting it, I'll post a link down below. And yeah, hope you found the review helpful. Thanks for watching and have a good one, folks.